Hey guys, so Chandler from Laser Gaming. In this video, I will be doing my Battlefield Hardline Robbery DLC weapon guide. This is a video I've been working on for a long time, and before we get into it, I just say please leave a like down below, just because it took me so long to make this video. To get all the footage for some of the guns, it took a while, and just to put all this footage together to get the weapon stats and put them onto the screen and just like record this. But did take me a while, and if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe as well. But we're going to get right into number 10, because technically there are 11 Robbery DLC weapons, but would you really consider the throwing knife to be a weapon? Yeah, the throwing knives are basically a bunch of useless kitchen knives that can't hit anything. Although one thing I have to say about the throwing knife, it is pretty rewarding when something like this happens. So we're gonna get into number 10, the Saiga 12. So there aren't really any stats for this gun because shotgun stats are very hard to measure because they have pellet count, and it's just really hard to measure. But I'm just sort of going to tell you how this gun feels. It is a semi-auto shotgun, but you cannot fire this as fast as you want to. There is a heavy trigger delay on this weapon, and for those of you who used it in Battlefield 4, it's nothing like the Battlefield 4 version. There's a heavy trigger delay on this gun, and that's what makes it so bad. The range on the one-shot kill range as well is probably only like 10 meters, roughly. I mean, obviously the pellets need to hit, and if your aim's not in the center, like right there, I got a 2-shot kill from that close. I just find that about this weapon to be very bad. And that's why this weapon is ultimately listed at number 10. As you can see, I just got a hit marker on that guy, and I'm going to get lucky right here with this next one. And don't worry, the next guns will have full stats on the top of the screen for you to look at, and I will go through them on my own. But yeah, that's the Saiga 12, in my opinion, worst Robbery DLC weapon. And you guys might disagree, but this is my opinion. I'm not saying this is the right answer. This is just my opinion. So we're getting into weapon number 9, which is the M1 Carbine. Now, this gun has a max damage of 34 and a minimum damage of 15. The drop-off starts at 30 meters, which means it will be a 3-shot kill up to 30 meters and ends at 60 meters. This is a semi-auto gun, and you can fire this as fast as you want, as fast as you can pull your trigger. It has a pretty fast muzzle velocity of 600 meters per second, a magazine size of 31, a reload of 1.9, and a long reload of 2.5. Now this gun is pretty good, and as well as that, recoil is not too bad, but it does have a pretty heavy first shot multiplier of 2.5, which does make the recoil pretty heavy actually. And frankly, with the iron sights and the heavy recoil, it's not too heavy, but I just find that the iron sights on this gun aren't great, and the fact that it's a semi-auto gun that is like a 7-shot kill at range, I just find that to not be good. And I find myself using this gun in hardcore more than anything else, because you do get that 1-shot headshot up close. I'm going to get some pretty clutch kills with that FN57 there, which I will talk about later in this video. But yeah, that's the M1 Carbine. Not too great of a gun, but we're going to move into number 8. Now this gun could have been ranked higher in my opinion, and it was pretty close, but I ended up putting it at number 8 simply because of the fact that its max damage is 20 and its minimum damage is 10. The drop-off starts at 20 meters, ends at 40 meters. The saving grace of this gun is its 950 rounds per minute fire rate and its great hip fire. It has a muzzle velocity of 420 meters per second, a big magazine of 41 rounds, a short reload of 2.6 seconds, which is long, and a long reload of 3.1 seconds. This gun doesn't have too much recoil, but if you're going to tap fire it, I would not recommend it. It has a 2.5 times first shot multiplier. But yeah, that's the MP7. It has a bad damage drop-off. You're going to be getting a 6-shot kill just past 20 meters, which stinks, and you're going to be getting a 10-shot kill anywhere past 40 meters, which is absolutely ridiculous. That's ultimately the reason why this gun is number 8 and not higher, because the fact that it has a terrible, and I mean terrible damage drop-off. Look at me tap firing that guy. Took me a whole magazine at that range to kill him. And although this gun is a close quarters beast, and it is an all-kit weapon, so keep that in mind. This gun is an all-kit weapon, and for some reason I do find the reload glitching a lot on this weapon, as you can see right there. But you can use this on any class, so that's really good. That's, again, a benefit of this gun, and I think that's why they ultimately didn't make it too amazing, just because of the fact that you can use it on every class. Now, this gun I actually do enjoy using, but it's just not too great. It's not a top-tier weapon. But we're going to move on to weapon number 7. And this is where the weapons start to get a lot better, and all of these weapons are fairly solid weapons. So number 7 is the Famas. It has a 25 max damage, 15 minimum damage. The drop-off starts at 25 meters and ends at 50 meters. It has a rate of fire of 850, a very fast muzzle velocity of 600 meters per second, and a magazine size of 31. So this gun is really good except for its reload. Its reload with bullets is 2.9 seconds, and its empty reload is 4.1 seconds. Not to mention the fact that it has a pretty hefty 0.5 recoil up. It just kicks a little bit to the right with a decent first shot multiplier at 2.3. So this gun isn't great at range, if you can't tell, just because the fast fire rate and long reload. You're going to want to use this gun in close quarters. But the reason why this gun is 7th is you're probably wondering, because it does have pretty good stats, but this gun is completely overshadowed by the F2000. There is no reason whatsoever to use this gun over the F2000. That's ultimately why this gun's ranked a lot higher than it should be. If the F2000 was taken out of the equation, I might have ranked this gun 5th, even though that's 2 spots higher, just because the F2000 does completely overshadow it. And if you have bought the DLC, I would not recommend using this gun at all over the F2000. If you don't have Robbery DLC though, and this gun is free, so anyone can use it, and that's the main benefit of it. Now for number 6, we are moving on to a gun with one of the highest fire rates in the game, the Scorpion. It has a fire rate of 1150 rounds per minute. It has a max damage of 24, a minimum damage of 12, and the drop-off starts at 8 meters, which is very close. It ends at 24 meters. So at 24 meters, you're going to be getting that 9-shot kill. And for those of you who don't realize how close 24 meters is, the AWM is a 1-shot kill at 25 meters. So where the AWM will be getting a 1-shot kill, you'll be getting a 9-shot kill. It has a very slow 460 meters per second muzzle velocity and a decent sized magazine of 3.1. It also has a very fast reload of 2.2, but the long reload is 3.2 seconds. Recoil, I wouldn't worry too much about it, as I wouldn't even recommend using this gun at range, but it does have a 2.5 first shot multiplier, so I would not recommend tap firing unless in extreme close quarters and unless completely necessary with this weapon. So at number 5, we have the FN57 pistol. So the reason why this pistol is ranked so high, not because it's better than the other guns that are ranked before, but simply because it is a good pistol. It's an all-kit pistol that does 25 max damage and 15 minimum damage. The drop-off starts at 10 meters, so you're going to be getting that 4-shot kill within 10 meters, and the drop-off ends at 60 meters. The max fire rate of this gun is 455 RPM, but I feel like you can just shoot this gun as fast as you can pull your trigger. Muzzle velocity is 430 meters per second, and suppressed it is 260 meters per second. It has a very large magazine size of 21 rounds, a very quick reload of 1.25 seconds, and an empty reload of 1.4 seconds. It has a decent recoil up of 0.7 and a first shot multiplier of 1.0, so you're not going to have any first shot multiplier. I actually put the muzzle brake on this just so when I'm pulling the trigger it doesn't kick as much. But yeah, this pistol is pretty solid. It is also armor piercing. So these pistol rounds go through the mechanic's armored insert, which is really useful for close quarters. And that's why I just find this pistol really good. I feel that it's better than most operator pistols and most enforcer pistols, other than like the Deagle. And like, I just find that this pistol is a really solid pistol and a overall good choice of a gun if you want to run a decent finishing pistol, because you can just spam this pistol as much as you want and take out multiple targets like you could see in these clips. Now, number 4 is the M82.416 semi-auto sniper rifle. So this gun does 90 maximum damage and 55 minimum damage, but the damage drop off for this gun doesn't start until 70 meters. So you're going to be getting that 90 damage up until 70 meters, and it is a one-shot headshot at max range when the damage drop off ends at 130 meters. It has a fire rate of 360 RPM, and I just find you can spam this weapon in close quarters if you want, but when you're running a sight, it has pretty heavy recoil of 2.5 upwards. So if you're using a sight like a canted RDS or just a regular red dot sight, I would recommend you can spam this gun in close quarters, but if you're running like a rifle scope, it is really hard to spam this gun. It has a ridiculously fast muzzle velocity of 800 meters per second. So you can basically just aim for the head at most ranges and you're going to hit it, as you can see in this clip right here where I hit a ton of headshots. The reload with the bullets left in the magazine is 3.8 and the empty reload is 5.2. Now this gun also has a bullet drop of 9.81, which is the best among the snipers. It's the same as the Scout Elite, but it has a slightly better travel speed than the Scout Elite, making this, in my opinion, the best long-range sniper rifle. It does have a smaller magazine. As you can see, I get a nice little quick scope right there. But yeah, that's the Barrett 50 cal, amazing sniper, number 4 weapon on this list, and one of the best snipers. If you guys want a sniper guide for this weapon and the other snipers, leave a comment down below, but we're moving into weapon number 3. So weapon number 3 is the RPK. The RPK does 36 max damage and 24 minimum damage. The drop off for this weapon doesn't start until 30 meters and ends at 50 meters. It has a slow fire rate of 600 RPM, a decently fast muzzle velocity of 580 meters per second, and while it is suppressed, it has a 320 meter per second muzzle velocity. It has a very large magazine of 51 rounds, and it has a drum magazine. It has a fast reload for considering the size of its magazine of 2.2 and an empty reload of 3 seconds. It has a decent amount of recoil up of 0.7 and a bit of pull to the right. And you're not going to be wanting to tap fire this gun as it has a 2.7 first shot multiplier. So I would recommend putting the angled foregrip on this weapon just to reduce the first shot multiplier. As you can see, when I shoot the first shot, I tend to pull down a little too much. But this gun is an amazing flanking weapon, as you can see in these gameplays. And you can just take out a ton of enemies with one magazine because of the slow fire rate. And that's why this gun is ranked the 3rd best. Not to mention the fact that it has a 3-shot kill up to 30 meters. If you're able to mix in a headshot in there, which tends to happen a lot because of the heavy kick of this weapon, you can get a 2-shot kill, which is just a very nice feature of this gun. But that's about it for the RPK. Let's move into the number 2 spot. So number 2 spot is the MDC assault rifle. This was really close between this and the number 1 weapon. And I would honestly consider this weapon and the number 1 weapon to just be equally as good in my opinion. I personally prefer the MDC a little bit more, but I know a lot of people like the F2000, and the F2000 stats are a bit better. But I personally just like how the MDC feels. But I did rank it at number 2 simply because of the fact that the F2000 does outclass it a little bit when it comes to stats. But consider both these weapons to be number 1 picks. So the MDC does 36 damage up close and 24 minimum damage. The drop doesn't start until 30 meters, so you're going to be getting that 3-shot kill within 30 meters. And with its 750 rounds per minute fire rate, this gun can tank people down very quickly. It has a 31 round magazine with a fairly long reload of 2.8 seconds and an even longer empty reload of 3.6 seconds. It has a decent amount of recoil up of 0.75, and it is just upwards recoil, no side to side. The side to side recoil cancels each other out, so that's really good, but it does have a high first shot multiplier of 2.8. So I personally would run the angled grip and the compensator, but if you feel like you can control the recoil, which I, in more close quarter situations, do feel that, and I end up running the heavy barrel. But as you're going to see right here, just going to get a nice little 2-piece. I'm going to get on top of this roof and just take down a ton of enemies that were up there and they don't even pay attention to the fact that I'm there until the end. But yeah, the MDC is an amazing weapon, And it is for the police and the F2000s for the criminals, so I would consider this the best police robbery DLC weapon. But I already revealed what the #1 gun is, so let's get right into it, the F2000. So the F2000 has a max damage of 28 and a minimum damage of 18, which is a little bit worse than the MDC, but the fact of the F2000 is it has a 900 round per minute fire rate. As you can see, I finished that guy off with the FN57. Has a fast muzzle velocity of 600 meters per second and a 31 round magazine. Now, I didn't mention this for most of the guns, but the F2000 also has a very good hip fire, as you can see right here, because it is a bullpup weapon. It also has low recoil of 0.5 upwards and an average first shot multiplier of 2.3. It does have a long reload of 2.85 and an empty reload of 3.4. Now, this gun won just simply because of the fact that it has low recoil, which makes it decent at range, and it has a 28 max damage that doesn't drop off until 40 meters. So you're going to be getting that 28 max damage till 40 meters, and not to mention the fact that you're going to be getting the 4-shot kill up until 45 meters. It's not until it drops below the 25 damage. So this gun is very good at close quarters. It is a close quarters beast, as you can see on these bank job clips. I get a ton of multi-kills where guys don't even have time to shoot back. It outclasses every other assault rifle in time to kill, in my opinion, just because of the low recoil. You can land your shots, and with that high fire rate, I just love this gun. But if you guys do like this video, don't forget to subscribe down below. It took me a ton of time to make this video, and this is a fairly long video. Yeah, it took me a ton of time to get the footage for all the guns, especially the earlier ones like the Saiga, the M1 Carbine, and the FN57. While it is a good pistol, it's hard to go on kill streaks with a semi-auto pistol. But I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, do not forget to subscribe down below for much more early Battlefield Hardline access. And if you haven't seen my Blackout DLC content, I got it out really early. I think before most other YouTubers did, so you can go check that out. I have some videos of the new weapons. But that's about it for this video, guys, and thanks for watching. Yeah.